Recently, I had the opportunity to record an interview with Bert Demisel, chairman of the board of the Judicial Action Group Foundation in Washington, D.C. I interviewed him at a friend's home using my smartphone to record the interview and with another camera showing a behind-the-scenes view of the interview so that you can see what it looks like to record a sit-down interview using a smartphone, a small tripod like this one here, and a wireless microphone. The tripod provides the necessary stability for the shot, and the microphone provides high-quality sound. For this interview, I was using the Lark M2 wireless microphone. Now, the specific gear that I'm using isn't all that important. You can do this with almost any smartphone. It's good to have, almost necessary to have a tripod to have the proper stability, and it really helps to have a good microphone. But again, you can do this with just your smartphone if you have to. Now, before beginning the interview, I led us in a short prayer asking for God's favor, for wisdom, and for clarity of thought and speech. I was recording this interview for two reasons. First, to collect additional information about the Judicial Action Group and its foundation, and their upcoming intercessory prayer event that they were going to be hosting in the nation's capital. This information would be helpful as I developed the shooting script and voiceover narration script for the news story that I was planning to produce for Global News Alliance. The second reason for the interview was to capture one or two sound bites that I could use to help me tell the story about the event that I was covering. This interview was recorded several weeks before the event in Washington, D.C., and that gave me plenty of time to review the footage and make notes about what I needed to record while covering the event. I explained to my interviewee that I was intending to use this interview recording also for the purpose of training smartphone journalists, people like you. So this is an interview today with Bert Demisel for a piece that I'm working on. And just going to let you see what it looks like from behind the camera. So I've got my phone set up here and have my questions in front of me, and we're going to get started. And Bert, I always begin every... Oh, and I'm going to have you sit forward a little bit. Sure. Yeah. I asked Bert to sit forward on the cushioned couch so that he looked alert and poised on camera. A soft chair or sofa, or a swivel chair that allows the person to rock back and forth, can cause the interviewee to slouch or fidget, and that distracts from the message that they're sharing. No, especially in between questions, you should feel free to look anywhere you want. But after instructing him that he needed to look only at me, he asked whether it was okay to look down occasionally, and I assured him that's okay. You just want to make sure that the interviewee doesn't make eye contact with any other person than the interviewer. If there's two people or three people behind the camera, and if they glance back and forth between those people on the set, it can appear that they're distracted or not focused. So Bert, normally what I do at the beginning of an interview is I have the person say their name, spell their name, and tell me what title, if we were to put a title on screen for you. So now after the prayer, I asked Mr. Demisel to say and spell his name, and then tell me the title that I should use for an on-screen name super. And finally, I asked for permission from GNA to use the interview recording.
Okay. My name is Bert Demisel. That's B-E-R-T-D-E-M-I-C-E-L-L. And I'm with the Judicial Action Group. I serve on the Board of Directors, currently as chairman.
So chairman of the JAG
Foundation.
Foundation.
Yes.
Would that be good?
Mm-hmm.
Chairman,
Mm-hmm.
JAG Foundation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all just preliminary, so I have it on tape. Oh, and do I have permission from you to use this recorded interview for the purposes of GNA for sharing stories about what God's doing around the world?
Yes, you do.
Awesome. Okay. So the first question is, what is your position with JAG, and tell me a little bit about what you do with them.
Okay. Well, I serve as the chairman on the board with Judicial Action Group Foundation. So there are actually two organizations. There's the Judicial Action Group, which is a C4 lobbying organization, and we created this year, that organization's been around about 20-something years. We created a foundation this year, which is the junior, can we reshoot
Sure.
that?
Yeah, you bet.
So am I getting off track and too much in that?
No, I mean, the fact that they're two separate groups, that's important to note. At this point, the interviewee had doubts about one of his answers, and he asked about redoing his response. Because these taped interviews are not live, it's completely possible to stop, regroup, check a fact if necessary, and then start again. Be sure to put your interviewee at ease by letting them know that they don't have to be perfect on the first attempt, and that you're fine with them making a correction and starting over. Better to be accurate than to regret it later when it's too late to make a correction.
I do consult with Phil. Well, JAG is a lobbying...
Now I'm going to show you the editing program that I used to transcribe the interview and make decisions about which sound bites to possibly use in the script. You don't have to use a computer app to transcode your interview. You can do it with a paper and pen, but the app makes it much faster. Here, Bert is talking about the role of JAG in helping recommend the next Supreme Court justice.
Nominations, reviewing their backgrounds, their written opinions, things like that, to try and boil it down to where does this person really stand on judicial philosophy and with regard to judicial intent or original intent with the Constitution. And so even right now, he's vetted about 34 possible nominations for the next Supreme Court seat that may become open.
Because this soundbite is short, succinct, and it explains the purpose of JAG, I'll highlight it to remind myself to consider using this soundbite. Or if I don't use the soundbite, I will at least use the information when I prepare my voiceover script.
Nominations for the next Supreme Court seat that may become open. And they've whittled that down to about 8 potential justices that they believe would serve in the right capacity at the Supreme Court.
So why are the lobbying efforts of JAG important to the American church? What is it that a Christian living in America should be concerned about or know about what JAG is doing on their behalf?
Yeah. So if you think about it, biblical justice requires righteousness. It requires...
As is my custom, I asked Bert if there was anything else that he wanted to say that might not have been asked up to this point in the interview. This is a great way to sometimes get the best soundbite of the entire interview.
Awesome. Anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about?
So Elena, Ketanji Jackson Brown. Is that how I said that?
I think you said Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah,
I think what you said.
Here. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah, Brown Jackson. That's
Did
right.
I say Jackson Brown?
Instead of coming up with something in addition to talk about, the interviewee expressed concern that he might have misspoke when mentioning the name of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. So instead of trying to repeat his answer with the correct name, we decided that he would make a more general statement that referred to the justices without using their specific names.
And just sit forward just a little bit.
So at the event, we have 9 national prayer leaders, one to pray for each Supreme Court.
Awesome. Well, I think we're good, Bert.
Okay.
You're good. We kept it about 20 minutes. So, as you saw, the interview was designed with certain questions, but I followed certain paths that Bert, our interviewee, took us down. And at the end, the always important question, is there anything else that I didn't ask that you would like to speak to? Gave him a chance to throw in a couple of things that he wanted to say that were important to him. And he also had a chance to reflect on one of his answers and go in and give a redo, essentially, to correct something that he may have misspoken. So it's all good to get all of that on tape before you pack up and head home. Thanks, Bert.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Well, thank you for watching this tutorial on how to shoot a simple sit-down interview with your smartphone. Check out our website at gna.news for more about Global News Alliance and how you can become part of our team of reporters telling stories about what God is doing in your church, your city, your country. And remember to subscribe to us on YouTube to receive notifications of future episodes and to watch more tutorials on smartphone journalism techniques. And until next time, may God bless you.